let's talk about what I'm reading, what I plan to read, and what I should be reading. Hello, my name is Tanya, and this is my writing realm, where I am working hard to advance my skills as a writer and self-published author, and sharing with you what I learn along the way. I don't have time to read. I really don't. I force myself to make a few minutes here and there, and when I mean a few minutes, I mean 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Now, just a little note, you might notice I have this really funky fedora on, and I have a very good explanation for this. 1, I kind of love it. And 2, I have a light sensitivity, and when I go to work, I end up wearing a baseball cap, which is Superman by the way, with dress pants. Yes, and I decided it is time to step things up a little and get a more professional looking hat to go with my fancy ass dress pants. So I decided today, why not play around a little bit, make my hair curly, which is natural, throw the hat on and see what it looks like together, and I'm digging it. What do you think? Alright, let's talk about this. No time to read, lots of books to read. I have a stack in front of me. Most normal people read one book at a time that they enjoy, and some people also have a second book for research. Let's just dig into this. First, I'm going to show you what I should be reading. Now, I have a series that is called the Fever series by Karen Marie Moaning, and there are 10 or 11 books, I think it's 11 now, in the series, and I have read 9 out of 11 books. Now, for Christmas, or my birthday, or the previous Christmas, I can't remember. Anyways, I got book 11 that I didn't know it existed. I have had book 10 for a couple of years. So this is the book. It is called High Voltage. So I want to read it, but I need a break from the series because I've been chain reading them for a couple years because, again, I just don't have much time to read. So I've decided to put this one, which is book 10 and book 11, aside until I take a very lengthy break from it. I love her writing. Her skill is, I love her writing skill. That's not the right thing. Her writing style, that's what I'm looking for. All right, I like her writing style. But again, when you're in the same world all the time and you don't have much time to read, I've pretty much been stuck in that world for a few years now. Okay, the next one I'm reading is Don't Worry, It's Just the Wind. This is written by 2 friends of mine that are in the same local writing group. They've published this a while ago. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what year it was published. Let's just see if we can figure that out. Ah, yes, 2008. And anyways, I bought this years ago, and it was kind of put in boxes when we moved, and I finally pulled out my books and put them on the shelves there last year or the year before. And I saw this and thought, geez, I really need to read this. So I started reading it, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So this is I am reading. Now, it's got a collection of short stories in it, so it's something that I can pick up when I'm in the mood, read one of the stories, and then set it aside for when I'm in the mood to read another short story. Okay, next. I picked up this book last year, I believe it was. I joined a book launch, a virtual book launch in Winnipeg. And basically it's a group of local authors in Manitoba that wrote speculative fiction about the prairies. So it is called Parallel Prairies. I actually won a gift card on this session, and I decided to use that gift card to support them. So I started, no, actually I haven't actually read any of it yet, but again, it's short stories, so it's something that I can read as I have time. So, short story collections. Okay, the next one, this is kind of part of my self-education improvement slash research, and this is Game of Thrones. So here's the thing, I never read any of George R.R. Martin's books, ever, but I loved the Game of Thrones series, the TV series. I loved the bluntness, the action, the everything. Let's just say it's got everything and I'm okay with everything. So I was curious. Now, somebody gave me this box set as a Christmas gift a couple years ago, and I finally decided, as part of my research, this is a great opportunity to see, you know, the quality of writing and how he describes things and how it is then portrayed on screen. I thought about reading each, you know, chapter or parts of the chapters and then watching the same episode just to kind of see how he describes things and how it was portrayed on screen. But let's face it, I hardly have time to read as it is, so I'm not going to add that much to me. So far, okay, I am on page 72 and I am enjoying it. I did notice that there is a big difference between how the characters are explained in the book, you know, their appearance and their age, and what is actually in the show. So, just something to think about if you haven't read it. Alright, now I'm just going to set that one aside. The other part of my self-education is reading The Making of a Story, which is by Alice LaPlante. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. So this is a writer's education book about creative writing and writing novels. Yeah, it's a Norton's Guide to Creative Writing. A friend lent this to me, Tyra, Story Tyrant. Her channel here is on YouTube. I've only just started. I haven't gotten far in it, but again, this is one of those things. It's like, okay, it's time for education. Then I'm going to sit down and dig into it some more. So let me know if you've read this and if you found this beneficial. I know that Tyra has read probably about a third of it. I don't know if I'm going to make it through the whole thing, but we'll see how that goes. Yes. All right. Next book that I am reading, or had started early last year, and then I totally set it aside and it got stuck in some papers. I'm sorry, Dale. Dale L. Roberts, Promotional Strategies for Books, How to Promote and Market Your Book. Now, if you don't know who Dale is, Dale has a channel, Self-Publishing with Dale, and he also has the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast. I love Dale's channel. He is very talented, full of information. I have had periods of time where I will sit there and chain watch his videos because there's just so much information. And if you watch his channel, make sure you bring a notepad because you're going to learn something. Anyway, so I am back to reading this, and because I started it a while ago, I'm probably going to have to restart. And this goes back to the self-publishing, self-education process improvement for this channel. So we'll see how this goes. All right. Next. I've had this book. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Do you ever do this where you get a ton of books, gifts, or you get so excited about a book that you buy it, and then it sits on your shelf because you're too damn busy in life to read it? Yes. This is a book that belongs to my workplace, and it kind of gets passed along from person to person. Now, I work in steel manufacturing, and I'm a production planner, so this was something that could further educate my skills in my position, and it is a well-rated book. It is called The Goal, A Process of Ongoing Improvement. I started it when I went on a trip to Chicago for work, and I was reading it in the airports and whenever we're waiting on the plane and so on, and I was really enjoying it. It's a great quality book, but again, I got interrupted and I didn't finish it, so once again, I might have to restart. Now this one, the last one that I'm going to share with you, this is a plan to read. I've, again, had this for a couple years, borrowed to me or lent to me by a friend, and I have really yet to spend a ton of time on it. I'm sorry, Tyra. I swear I'm going to read everything that people lend to me and return it eventually. This is more for mental health and well-being. It is called the Mindfulness and Acceptance Workbook for Anxiety. Because yes, I have anxiety. Yes, I was unaware at the time that I had anxiety, but I am now medicated for anxiety, and it is making a difference, although because I'm sensitive to the medication, I can't take as much of a dosage as what I should be taking. So this, I think, could really help me. Yes, it could really help me. So thank you, Tyra. And again, I will do my best. I will do my best to read this book, and I might not make it through the whole thing again, but I'm hoping I can pick up some tidbits on coping with anxiety. But if you have any tips for anxiety, I'm all ears. So what I would like to know is, have you read any of these books? And if so, which one is it? And did you enjoy it? Did you learn anything from it? Also, what are you reading right now? I don't normally talk about what I'm reading on my channel. Obviously you can see why, because I have too damn much to read and little to no time to read it. But I'm going to change this. Once my Netflix and Prime Video and Crave addictions to all these series die down, I will get back to reading every night. But let's face it, March is coming, and guess what is coming out? Season 6 of Outlander, whoop whoop, and Season 4 or 5 of The Last Kingdom. That's a good one. If you liked Game of Thrones, you should watch the Last Kingdom series as well, because it is great. And you're gonna like the eye candy, those who like male eye candy. All right, that is pretty much all I wanted to share with you. Just a little note. I have published, there, now you can see it. This is my story, Living Undiagnosed. It is a true story. It is not extremely long. It is not a full-length novel. It is about how I was suffering some crazy symptoms and nobody could figure out what the hell it was. And it took a very long time. Now, when I say a long time, I'm talking like from the day we actually started the research, it was about 13 years. But the symptoms were probably, I had for about, like started about 20 years ago. So it's taken me till now to get fully diagnosed. And to be honest, I'm even finding now that I have more issues than what they've identified. But my doctor is retiring and I am waiting for a new doctor. And once I get that new doctor, I'm hoping for a fresh outlook and possibly a revamp on the research. Anyways, Living Undiagnosed is available in ebook on most major ebook platforms. That includes Amazon Kindle and Barnes & Noble and Apple Books and Smashwords. I publish with Draft 2 Digital, Smashwords, Google Play Books, and Amazon KDP, so you can pretty much find it all over the place. It is also available in print through Amazon. Now this cover design is pretty freaking good. My first time actually hiring a pro cover designer. I have hired a graphic artist before, but they were not a pro cover designer. So I'm very happy with this book, and it took a lot for me to finally push the publish button. So if you're interested, check it out. Yes, check it out for me, please. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and keep writing.